Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Vyshnavi, your ENT faculty at PrepLadder, and with me I have Dr. Krutarth, who's done amazingly well for himself with rank 66 in the INI-CET examination of May 24. Although Krutarth didn't really target INI-CET and his target was NEET PG, but since the NEET PG got postponed, he made the most of the INI-CET examination, and I'm sure going forward the NEET PG also he's going to crack it with amazing rank. So before we go into the interview or understand more from him and his preparation, now welcome Dr. Krutarth and many congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, so the stage is all yours. Please tell us about yourself, where you come from, which medical college, and just a brief about yourself.
I'm originally from Gandhinagar, Gujarat. But I did my MBBS from Smimer Medical College, Surat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I really wasn't preparing. As I said, I wasn't preparing for NEET, and uh, this was a really nice surprise along the way.
Wonderful. So I think life can surprise you at many occasions, and this was one of those pleasant surprises that you had. So I would just like to know about your preparation and how PrepLadder helped you in your preparation because you were targeting NEET PG, and I'm sure you were putting all your efforts in that direction. But having said that, you also did very well for INI-CET. So how PrepLadder made sure, or how it helped you boost your preparation?
Uh, First of all, I was gonna give INI-CET, but it was more of a backup if I don't get NEET a seat in NEET. So when those news of postponement came, I couldn't study for 10-12 days.
Hmm.
So during those days, I decided I'll give INI-CET previous year question papers that were available.
Mm-hmm.
So on those 10 days, I just did that, gave one or two papers a day, tried to analyze them. And what I realized was they were not asking anything different. It was basically the same thing they were asking.
Hmm.
Just they'll ask you some things in detail that
Yeah.
wouldn't go there. And there are some specific topics that INI said asks. So if you have clear basics and if you can correlate with the current INI set pattern and the changes they are making, I think it's easier than NEET in a way if you can understand the pattern.
Right. So you used the time where the postponement news came, and then it was hard for you to focus on your studies. So you used the PrepLadder's app to give your GTs and practice the PYQs and the PYTs and all of that, so that you were at least on track, if not get deviated elsewhere. Did you use PrepLadder's main videos during your preparation?
Yes, I watched pharmacology, Dr. Ankit. I think he's the best in pharmacology. So that was really helpful. I used to watch his videos and make my notes, handwritten notes. So I watched him. I even watched his LRR on YouTube. So that was also helpful.
Nice. And when you're preparing with your main videos, would you make down the notes parallelly, or would you, have the notes handwritten, the notes that are given from the app? So, did you make your own notes, or did you take the printed notes?
No, I found if I'm making notes, I can, the written memory is very strong if you have your own notes. And I always considered that even in my exams, I felt if I've written something, I used to remember it more. So I was always inclined towards that, writing my own notes.
So, when did you start your preparation? Like, in which year did you start your preparation?
I started in third first, mid third first, or towards the end of it. I gave a GT for the first time, and then I started giving it more regularly. I used to give it every month in my fourth year while preparing, and yeah, so that was.
Okay, and since you started quite early, I think you already had that advantage that you studied so many things. You did the main videos, you did even LRRs, like you said, and you also did GTs in your fourth year. How did you prepare for INI-CET just before the exam? Did you go through prep ladders, RRs, LRRs? How did you go about it?
I mainly did the main notes because I thought there was no replacing them. Those were complete in a sense. You
Right.
have to supplement it with what teachers tell you or what the faculties tell you, so you know what has changed over a year or what is the recent pattern. So for those RR videos were helpful.
Mm.
So and supplementing it with INI-CET PYQs are there, previous year topics are there. So you can supplement it with them, but after all, it's INI-CET, and they have shown that they'll ask anything. You need your basics clear.
Yeah. And did the LRR INI-CET that we conducted, did that help you in your final exams? Like, did you feel like, okay, I did this, so it sort of helped me, get onto track better to get that recall better during the exams? Did you have any such situations?
Yes, one thing I noticed about all of the LRRs was they uh, they knew that students miss some basic information about very simple things that would so I saw that some basic information was cleared. So
Hmm.
if you have those basics cleared, I think you that's a half job done there.
Yeah, and I think when you're recalling with a faculty, you also know that I have forgotten this, or maybe I misunderstood this. Maybe I should have answered this way. This is where my brain is thinking in a wrong way. So I think this sort of consolidates your preparation, whatever you've prepared already in the past 2 years, so that when you are going to the exam, it sort of enhances your confidence. Yeah. So now tell me about GTs, because you were telling you did GTs in your fourth year. So how many GTs you've done from PrepLadder?
Given around 15 to 17 GPs
That's
from that.
very nice. Like the more amount of GTs you give, I'm sure that helped you be more on track. So once you did GTs, would you just analyze the GT or how would you go about it?
I would look at the wrong questions, and I usually couldn't analyze the whole 200 questions. So I used to only see the wrong questions, and if I felt that uh, some questions no one will be able to solve, some
Right.
questions are just there, so no need to focus
About.
on them
uh,
or get sad about them. So if there was a topic that I knew is important and I don't know anything from it, so I would focus more on it,
mm,
and I would add it to. I had made a notebook for all the wrong questions I'm doing or something I'm constantly forgetting.
mm.
So that was I didn't get a chance to read it at the end because at the end you are so overwhelmed with all the stuff you have to remember. But of course, that was really helpful.
Okay. And would you bookmark those questions on the app, whatever you're getting wrong, so that you could recollect it at a later point of time?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did you feel the GTs were in relation to the final exam? Like, were they similar or was it difficult in the GTs? How would you rate it?
Uh, I think it was nearly similar.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the last INI set GT on prep ladder. I thought the first set was hard. Similar thing happened in that also, but you have to keep a calm mind and go through it. So I felt it was a bit similar.
It was quite similar. That's nice to know. And whenever you give GTs, no, they tell you like you are better than 90% of the rest. There is an analysis given. So would you find that motivating to you or push to you that, yes, I am on the right track, or maybe I have to improve a bit? Like, did you find that relevant for you?
I think it's a double-edged sword. If you are scoring good, it's helpful. But
Mm.
the thing is, if you are scoring about 98% of people or 99 percentile of people, then those are really the best people.
Mm.
So even if by luck you can deviate by a lot. So
Mm.
the thing is, if you get a good rank, not to be too happy about it. If you get a bad rank, not to be too disheartened about it.
Yeah, but I think maintaining that strike rate of being above 95, 98%, and the rest of them sort of gives you that confidence when you go to the exam hall that अरे वहां पे मैंने कर लिया है already. I have always been there. Now it's time to just show in my final exam that I can do it. So I think that practice sessions that you take up, the INI-CET Champions examination or the GTs that we have on our app, I think because most students in the country are doing that, I think it's a good way of analyzing yourself yourself and also boost up. Of course, you should not take that for granted that I've got good rank, so I will now stop studying and not do anything else. Or if I've got less rank or lesser marks, I should get demotivated. But I think realistically valuing what you have and taking that as a motivation should be the way forward. Okay, so tell me about your exam hall situation. Like in the exam hall, like what the pattern, of course, is changed, right? So you have sections now. So did you find any major change in that?
My first set was really hard. Like the first 20 questions, I was shocked. Why are they asking these things?
Hmm.
But when you look at it, it's they were not asking, but you are scared. You are scared because you are giving it for the first time. Even if you're given so many GTs, it's never like the real exam.
Mm-hmm.
And we are the first batch that hasn't even given the NEET PG yet. So INI set was the first exposure. So
This was the first time you wrote INI-CET or you written prior?
oh, this was my internship year, so for the first time.
And that's nice. Okay. So you tell me, continue.
Yeah, so the first set was scary for me. Uh, and I even due to the fear, I made some very silly mistakes in first and second set.
Hmm.
And but after the first set, I felt the paper got easier and easier and easier.
Hmm.
And the other thing was time management when you're giving a grant test at your home and when you're giving it there is completely different.
Hmm.
Because I was able to complete most sets in 40 minutes and I had a time to see those questions in the next 5 minutes. But in the real exam, I didn't have time to see any of those questions. So you have to get reflexively better at solving MCQs. I felt if someone has developed that reflex, it would help him a lot.
Yeah, I think because you wrote 15 to 17 GTs from Prep Ladder, you had that advantage that even though you weren't able to do at the same pace, but at least you were competitive enough to get there. But if somebody who's not done a GT and going to the exam hall and hoping that everything will fall in place, I think they should wake up and start giving their GTs. Yeah, so it was wonderful. Now, I would just like to know from you, like, do you want to give a shout out to any of the faculties from PrepLadder who've helped you through your journey?
Dr. Ankit, I think, is the best pharmacology faculty. Dr. Mava is also superb. And I watched a lot of Dr. Preeti's videos. Like, they are so, she teaches everything that's so hard in such an easy manner. I don't think there are some very weird topics in micro and patho, and if you are taught it in such a simple way, I think it's very helpful.
Yeah. And do you want to tell anything about your family, your friends who've been a part of your journey so far?
Yeah, I think everyone, it's because of them only. Because I didn't feel like I was going to be able to do with this. But
Mm.
they keep on motivating you. Even after the INI set exam, I haven't been able to study for the last 5 6 days because after the exam everyone was like this paper was very easy and I had made 5 10 terrible mistakes, some very silly mistakes, and I didn't think I would be getting this rank, but they were constantly making me cheer that it's gone, you would have performed well, you are, so that's the people that surround you play a very major part. Even my
Yeah.
parents,
Okay. So, how much do you think you marked right based on the recalls?
I think it would be around 148 to 150 to 153.
Okay. That's a very nice score. Yeah, so I think we've heard a lot from you, and we are hoping that you do your NEET PG also superbly well, like you did your INI-CET. And since that was your primary focus, I'm sure you're going to score even better. Just stay calm as you are, and I can see through the entire video that you have a very calm mindset and a very realistic approach. So just continue that, and I'm sure I will meet you again for the NEET PG interview.
Thank
So
you
all
so
the
much.
best. Thank you, Krutarth, for your time and for helping our audience to understand the importance of giving GTs, the importance of taking up the Q bank and the tests, the importance of having that reflexive pattern of going to the exam hall with a mindset, with that brain reflex, which is going to happen only with practice and just doesn't come that other way. So I think these pointers are definitely going to help all the learners who are going to watch this. That it's not just about learning the subject, but it's about even after that, what you do with yourself and how you prepare for the final day. So all the best and wishing you lots of luck for the future.
Thank you so much.